Thanks so much for joining me today. So maybe you've been using food to let loose completely and de-stress on the weekends. It's what you've always done. It's what everyone does, right? On the weekend, you have less responsibility, and Friday has become this sort of gateway drug to the rest of the weekend where normal rules don't apply. You eat whatever you want, as much as you want, and it might even be the highlight of your week. Your way to unwind, and people around you are happy to support it. Your coworkers suggest beer and nachos, or your husband's waiting at home with pizza for you. So before getting into different strategies on how to overcome weekend overeating, let's look at what it means to you and whether or not it's working for you. If you're loving your cheat days or cheat weekends and you're happy with the results, then there's no problem. Keep doing it. But if every time Monday comes around, physically you feel bad, bloated, uncomfortable, mentally you feel crappy, guilty, regretful, maybe even angry at yourself in general, and you feel stuck in this vicious cycle, it could be time to investigate a little further. Ask yourself, what does weekend overeating do for you? What is it a path to? What does it enable you to get or feel? How does it solve a problem or have a purpose for you? For many, weekend overeating is self-medication for stress, stimulation, and novelty, and a way to connect with other people. If you aren't sure, take some time to write out your feelings surrounding your weekend overeating. This can help give you some clarity and turn your reactionary decisions into conscious ones. If you do want help with overeating on the weekend, here are some strategies to help rearrange your mindset and break free of the cycle. Strategy number 1. Aim for good enough. Everyone wants to follow the perfect diet, to see results as quickly as possible. So Monday to Friday, you stick to a strict meal plan. The whole week, you are worrying incessantly about screwing things up. By the weekend, your willpower is drained, and you're so sick of restrictive eating that you can't wait to eat food you actually enjoy. Bring on the weekend binge. If you take perfect off the table, things change. You feel empowered because there are now options instead of kale salad versus 5 pieces of cake. What's the solution? Always aim for good enough. Throughout the work week and the weekend, try to consider your health and fitness goals, what you're in the mood for, and what's available. I'm not saying you should have McDonald's every day for lunch if that's what's easily available to you. I'm saying that if you're already planning and having balanced meals most of the time, if one day someone brings brownies into work, then there's no reason why you should need to turn it down if you actually feel like having one. Consider that brownie along with the rest of the foods you've eaten that day. How does it fit? What do the rest of your meals look like? Here's another tip. Don't have the brownie if you're starving. You'll probably end up shoving it down your throat without enjoying it, and this will also lead you to wanting more and more. Instead, have your planned meal to soothe your hunger, and then savor the brownie, afterwards focusing on eating it slowly as possible, and savoring it. The choices of one meal affect the next one, and so on. Over-restricting certain foods or excessive exercise will always lead to a bigger blowout on the weekend. Remember, the decent method you follow is better than the perfect one you quit. Strategy number 2, let go of your food rules. Food rules tell you what you can and can't eat, when you can or can't eat, how you can or can't eat, how much you can or can't have. These rules set you up for disinhibition, aka the screw it effect. This means having rules like you can't eat any carbs. When Friday rolls around and your husband or friend orders pizza, the temptation is going to build, and instead of just having one slice, when you finally give in, you end up having 5. Setting the rule that you couldn't have any is the exact reason why you ended up overeating it. Eating by the rules almost always leads to overeating crap because once you deviate, there's nothing left to guide you. What's the solution? Ditch the rules and let hunger be your guide. Non-dieters or normal eaters eat when they're physically hungry and stop when they're physically full, no matter what day of the week, time, or if there's an event happening. Start by paying attention to your own food rules and responses. When, where, and how are you likely to say screw it? What might happen if you let go of that rule and really tuned into your physical hunger and fullness cues instead? And you're probably thinking to yourself, if I did that, I would overeat everything. And that's where this next strategy can be helpful. Strategy 3, make sure you're eating mostly quality meals and that they are balanced towards your goals. People who overeat at night or on the weekends are often restricting their intake throughout the day, knowingly or unknowingly. What you eat during the day matters, not so much what you eat on any given day, but what you eat most days. If you are constantly feeling extra hungry at night, by the weekend, have bigger portions in your meals. Food types matter as well. Fiber, especially low-calorie vegetables, help fill you up, and protein keeps you full for longer between meals. This makes eating a combination of these nutrients in sensible portions at regular intervals key for regulating your appetite. Strategy 4, give up cheat days. Sure, some people find the idea of a weekly cheat day useful both mentally and physically. If this is you and it works for you, then by all means continue. But usually having one cheat day means the rest of the week is food purgatory. Solution? Quit the cheat day routine and give yourself permission to choose what you want to eat all week long. Like the screwed effect, cheat day depends on scarcity. This can make you feel anxious, needy, and greedy. The opposite to a scarcity mindset, abundance. For you and most people around you, food is abundant. It's a privilege. You don't need to cheat because there's nothing and no one to cheat on. Maybe you enjoy some dessert on Tuesday night because you're in the mood for it, or maybe you're satisfied by your dinner so you don't. What and when you eat is up to you and your hunger and fullness cues, no matter what day of the week it is. Strategy 5, own your choices. Really, do you ever barter with yourself, make deals, trades, or swaps related to food? Okay, self, I'll turn down dessert today, but I'm going to collect on the weekend and you better pony up the whole damn pie. Mind games like this undermine your health goals and your authority over your decisions. Solution? Start owning your choices. Let your adult values and deeper principles guide you when you sit down to eat. Start making food decisions by acknowledging the outcome you'd expect based on your previous experiences. For example, I'm choosing to eat this tub of ice cream on Saturday night. I'll probably feel nauseated and anxious afterwards. In this instance, I'm fine with it. In the end, own your choices. You're free to eat and drink anything you want. You choose your behavior. Just remember that different choices produce different outcomes. Strategy 6, stop rationalizing. Weekends present all sorts of comfortable justifications for eating a bunch of non-nutritious foods. It could be anything. You were busy, or maybe you had nothing going on. You were traveling, or maybe you were at home. You had work, or you had no work to do. You had family or social meals, or maybe you ate alone. Any excuse will do, but busyness, boredom, travel, work, or family dinners don't inherently cause overeating. People eat or drink too much in lots of different situations. Their explanations simply match whatever happens to be going on at the time. Rationalizations are an easy way to justify and perpetuate our overeating or other unhealthful behaviors. What's the solution? Stop rationalizing and ask yourself, why are you really overeating? Instead of falling back on the tired victim of circumstance narrative, take the opportunity to ask yourself what's really going on. Are you bored, stressed, sad, or happy? Do this over and over and start to see some patterns. That's your pot of gold. That's your opportunity to change overeating behaviors and do something else to address those emotions instead of binging. Strategy 7, apply the clean slate method. The clean slate approach means that after any and every screw up, you get to start fresh. And I really don't like to call them screw ups. Let's call them feedback situations instead. You overate on Friday night, no problem. Wake up on Saturday morning and start again. Don't try and compensate, just get on with things as normal. One bad meal or bad day doesn't undo weeks of hard work to find your health or body composition. And if you can see it as feedback, then you can better assess the situation, what was really going on, and help you build up a plan for next time. And if you try and restrict your food because of what happened, it'll just lead to another binge. Strategy 8, ask for help. Put someone else in control for a while. Yes, you are the boss of you and you should own your choices, but changing a deep-seated habit, even one that on the surface may seem silly and harmless, like overeating on the weekend, is challenging. It's really challenging. And just like weight loss, the process of changing your habits will have ups and downs. It helps to team up with someone who will support and encourage you. Find a friend, a partner, a trainer, or a coach like me who will listen to you and keep you accountable. If you feel urgency or compulsion when you overeat, consider talking to your doctor or trained professional about binge eating disorders. Thanks for joining me today, guys. I hope this helped.